is more than just entertainment. It's a lens into society, relationships, and human behavior. I'm Grace, and here on The Grace Report, we dive into stories beyond the headlines. Whether it's reality TV drama, celebrity scandals, or royal family intrigue, I'm here to break it all down. What it means, why it matters, and how it reflects the world we live in. Join the conversation, share your take, and let's make sense of the culture shaping our lives one story at a time. Good morning, sunshine. How are y'all doing today? I hope you're having a great day today. It looks like my camera is still trying to adjust to the temperature. She's like, do I go cool? Do I go warm? Do I do a little bit of both? We're going to figure this out as we go along. How are y'all feeling? TGIF. Happy Friday. We made it to the end of the week. Do you guys have any fun and exciting weekend plans? Let me know if so. SJ, thank you so much for joining my channel membership. I hope you enjoy the exclusive videos and content that I put out. Yesterday, I published a video for you guys, my channel members, about Kail appearing on Caitlin and Tyler's podcast and just this like self-victimization tour that she's on that's like very, very weird. Anyway, Jaleesa, good morning, sunshine. Good morning, Theo. Kristen's in the house. Good morning. Stephanie, Jessica, Ali, Venetia, Ronnie, Bree, Acacia, Sassy, Michelle, LTL, Cynthia, Ashley, and Kahara, and everybody else watching. Oh my God, we've got some stuff to talk about. By the way, I saw Ali was at Costco. Ali, what are you getting at Costco? I remember the other day, I think it was Wednesday's episode, we were talking about like the Costco chicken salad. Did you run over there to get you one of them chicken salads? I am so jealous. If so, I love me some Costco chicken salad, pizza, poutine. They've got that over there in Canada, by the way. Good morning, Kayan. Good morning, Chocolate Dot. So nice to see y'all here. We have got so much to talk about in today's morning report, including Kail Lowry not appearing in this week's episode of her Coffee Convos podcast. Is it because of the cheating scandal? Is she kind of laying low for the time being? Is she kind of dealing with Elijah, her potentially trifling fourth baby daddy? I don't know, but she didn't appear. And what's weird is that I listened for the first couple of minutes, and okay, like at first it was obvious like Kail wasn't going to be there, right? But they never really explained it within the first couple of minutes. And like, no offense to Lindsay, no offense to Kristen, but if there's no Kail on Coffee Convos, I'm not listening, right? So I gave y'all a couple of minutes to explain to me why this girl wasn't here. Y'all didn't do it. So I bounced. I don't know if anybody else gave it more time than I did. If you did, please let me know what they said to explain Kail's absence, but we'll get into that a little bit later on. We also have to talk about dog killer Dave trying to get custody of his daughter with Janelle and fighting for child support from Janelle as well, despite the fact that he hasn't really seen his daughter in like a year or so. Megan Fox has given birth to her and Machine Gun Kelly's daughter. Congratulations to her and Machine Gun Kelly, of course. We also have to talk about Selena's killer, Yolanda Saldivar, being denied parole, which is amazing news. Unfortunately, in bad news for the day, we've got King Charles, who has just been admitted to hospital due to some issues and complications with his cancer situation. So thoughts and prayers go out to him. Waka Flocka made a really weird statement on a podcast about how if his wife were drowning and his son were drowning, like they fell off a boat and they couldn't swim or something, and he could only choose one of them, we're going to talk about who he said he'd choose and why that is very, very strange and why it's making the rounds on the internet. We also have to talk about Real Housewives of Beverly Hills grifter Erica Jane being taken to trial for $25 million that prosecutors are claiming that she knowingly spent and stole and embezzled. And we also have to talk about Bethany Frankel being dragged by the Real Housewives of New Jersey stars as well. So much show for you guys today. And I'm so excited to talk about it all with you. By the way, y'all, I forgot to open up the phone lines yesterday. So I think what I'm going to do is today I will open up the phone lines at the end of the episode. That way, like we could really have a lot more like free flowing conversation and whatnot, because after this, all I have to do is watch last night's episode of Teen Mom and all that, and then blah, blah. So I've got time, y'all. Ali said she wanted a salad and a hot dog. Yummy, 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 yummy. Enjoy. Bon appetit. Jessica says, I'm getting my grandbaby tonight and taking him to a bounce play place Saturday. Jessica, you look so young. Grandbaby? What? What? Oh my God. Well, I'm shocked. I'm shocked, but wow, congratulations. I hope you guys have a great time. Isn't that so sweet? Good morning, Joy. Hi, we've got South Africa in the building. Zahida. Hi, Zahida. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining us all the way from beautiful South Africa. Star is still in Miami. How is it going in Miami? Did you find yourself a nice little hot one over there, Star? Have a great shower. Oh, Lord. J Dash, good morning, J Dash. Chilling at home on the day off. Yeet. Love to see it, J Dash. Enjoy your day off. How lucky to have Friday as a day off. You get a long weekend. Cara says, Boyz II Men is having a free concert. Wow, I'm jealous. Enjoy that. Y'all are having the best time. What? So am I, right? Because I'm here with you, of course. But look at you guys' days and weekends that you've got. She was working in New York or something. Ooh, Minnie, who are you talking about? Let me start this so I can come back to it later. Francine says, hi, Grace, watching from Perth, Western Australia. We got another Australian in the building. We had another Australian here yesterday as well. Amazing. Thank y'all so much for joining me. I see we've got Crystal and Cammie here as well. Welcome to you guys. Why don't we start off with Pop the Balloon? I forgot to bring that up, like when I was going to give you guys the rundown, when I just give you that. I posted this in my community tab yesterday, but I really want to know what y'all think about it today. Don't forget, we're going to open up the phone lines at the end of today's episode of the Morning Report, okay? So Pop the Balloon is a very viral YouTube show where you've got the host, Arlette, and there's always either a single lady or a single guy and a bunch of suitors or also other single people ready to pop a balloon the second that this person no longer meets their criteria, right? So whether it's appearance, whether it's personality, job, whatever, right? Having kids, blah, blah, blah. So it's been going viral, especially on TikTok. And now Netflix has decided that they want a piece of the pie. In fact, starting on April 10th, this is coming so quickly, y'all. April 10th, they are going to start showing this live on Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm sorry to those of you who include me, right? Because I watched this show. I have to admit to you guys, okay, something. At first, when I saw clips of this show going around, I was like, oh my God, like, I think this is a bad look. I don't like it, okay? But then the more exposure I got to it, the more I'm like, you know what? Listen, I still don't love it. However, I'm addicted to it now, you know, especially the guy. There's a guy, I think he was a plumber or something, and he would just like, he had like the funniest personality. It was like funny in a bad way. Like he'd be like, you know what, queen, blah, blah, queen, like that guy. Like these, you know, like there were certain characters that you got used to seeing. So I'm sad that we're not going to have Arlette. They are hosting it on Netflix. And that's not to take away from the, you know, new host that they're going to have. It's going to be Yvonne Orji, who you might know from Insecure, Issa Rae's Insecure show over on HBO. But I don't know, like, it's Arlette's show, so why isn't she hosting it? Listen, I know she got money. She's going to be a producer of the show. So this was a deal that she and her husband made for the IP surrounding the show, right? So congratulations to her. Congratulations to her husband on being able to sell their show. Like to go from, you know, a YouTube, TikTok show to Netflix, especially a live show. The only time I ever see Netflix doing anything live is when they're doing a reunion special, right? So for this to be like a live weekly show or whatever is absolutely insane. Correct me if I'm wrong, but is this not the first time that Netflix is going like down that route? Like in general, like that is so cool. Congratulations to them. What about you guys? Do you watch Pop the Balloon? Is this something that you're going to be tuning in for? And by the way, I have to tell you, it's not going to be just like a bunch of like random people the way that it has always been, right? We're going to be getting celebrities on Pop the Balloon. And I'm sorry, but I don't want to see celebrities on Pop the Balloon. I think it's going to make it corny, you know, especially these people whose whole careers involve them just like going from show to show to show. So shout out to my Teen Mom fans. Farrah Abraham is going to be there. I wonder how many, you know, I don't know if she's going to be the one single lady or if she's going to be like one of the people like waiting to pop a balloon. I don't know, but she's going to be there. Johnny Bananas from The Challenge is also going to be there. Chase Demore, the guy with the unbrushed tongue and then the beetle fell on his face on Too Hot to Handle. He's going to be there. Zaina from The Ultimatum. Remember when she was in a relationship with that guy, but it looked like, you know, she was single and that guy barely even knew her? She's going to be on there too. So that is, give me one quick second, you guys. I'm going to play some ads from some of our sponsors, and then I'll come back. Sorry, I have to answer the door. Give me 1 second.
The Morning Report is brought to you by Philo. Watch your favorite shows and movies from over 70 different channels, including MTV, TLC, WeTV, and more for only $28 a month. Get a free trial today by clicking the link in the description box of this video.
All right. Okay. So Farrah Abrams is going to be there. Zaina is also going to be there. So y'all also know Zaina as being Cheyenne's best friend. I actually just heard Zaina on AD's podcast, AD from Love is Blind, right? So she's got this wonderful podcast where she talks with a lot of like these Netflix stars, and she just featured Zaina on it. I get the feeling that she really wants to become like the next big thing over on Netflix, which, you know what, if that's the case, more power to her. And I think because she already had her start on MTV as being Cheyenne's friend on there, like she already has like a certain level of media training and media exposure that other people don't already necessarily have, which I think is serving her rather well. So I'm really, really looking forward to seeing how she does and performs on the show, of course, right? But I don't know. Are y'all looking forward to Farrah? Do you think that she's going to be able to like pull on Pop the Balloon, or just based on her notoriety, do you think it's going to be rather difficult for her to be able to get people to be there, to want to continue to get to know her? Cynthia says that she's going to be watching Pop the Balloon. Mullen says, check on Amanda Seales, the way that she is always ready and just to pounce on anything. Issa Rae, thankfully for her, Issa's not going to be on it, but Yvonne will. Does she have beef with Yvonne as well? I think she does. I think she has beef with anybody from the show that didn't stick up for her in general, right? Because for her, if you're not 100% involved, especially when it comes to her defense or anything like that, then it's a problem, even if you choose to stay neutral. So that is definitely something that I think she might take issue with, that's for sure. Theo says, what if someone tries to run up on someone who rejects them? Listen, maybe that's why they're bringing in the big guns here, right? Because they want to make sure that this is a safe environment for people. Because I have always had that kind of a concern when I watch the show, to be honest with you guys, because some of them, some of the contestants on the show, particularly some of the men on the show, they do have this kind of like energy where it feels like they don't like respect or like women sometimes. So I definitely have had those sorts of reservations about the show, for sure, and it is worrisome. But this time I think because it's going to be a bunch of like professional reality show people, we're not really going to have those kinds of worries. I don't think they're genuinely there looking for love. I think they're just there to extend their 15 minutes of fame, in which case, you know what, more power to them. Attention is money in today's economy, right? Steph says, why no Arlette? That sucks, but congrats to her. I don't know either. I think it's so strange. And I'm happy to see that so many of you guys are supportive of both Arlette and Yvonne from Insecure as well. By the way, good morning, Ramel. Nice to see you here. So although she's not going to be on it, she did release a statement supporting Yvonne as the new host of the show. So let me go ahead and read to you guys what she had to say about Yvonne being chosen to be the host of the show instead of herself. She said, and I quote, "We're thrilled to see Pop the Balloon take on a new life on Netflix. From day one, we've kept love and fun at the heart of the show, and watching it evolve and soar beyond our wildest dreams has been truly exciting. As executive producers, we're proud to support this next chapter and can't wait for both new and longtime fans to experience it. Yvonne is engaging, witty, and authentic, and we're looking forward to her serving as the host for the reimagined version at Netflix." You know what I think it is? Arlette, I don't really know her background too much, right? Like, I don't know if she's had experience hosting things live or whatnot, like with these massive audience. Like, I know she has a big audience on YouTube and on TikTok and whatnot, but I think it's different from like dealing with like celebrity personalities and like improvising live and stuff. And so maybe that's why. However, I will say that I do wish that she would have fought harder to be the face of it, because to me, I associate it with her. And again, this is no shade, this is no diss, no hate towards Yvonne. I really like Yvonne, but I would have loved to see Arlette try at least one season, of hosting the show, right? Cynthia says, I hate listening at work because people here need my full attention. I'm a program coordinator for parents with littles. It's called Parents as Teachers. Oh my God, what a sweet little job. That's so sweet. Not sweet little job, sorry. I'm thinking of little kids and sweet job. What a sweet job. That's so cool. cool. Cynthia, and I'm sorry you're distracted. Hopefully we'll catch you on the playback posse if there's any parts that you miss out on today's episode. So yeah, you guys stay tuned. I don't think I'll be recapping Pop the Balloon or anything like that. However, I definitely will be, tuning in to see what it's all about. I won't be able to tune in live, of course, because it's 8 p.m. Eastern, which is like 2 a.m. for me, right? So yeah. Now, why don't we, what? I did have some of your comments that I started that I wanted to get to see what y'all have to say about this show. And then afterwards, we're going to talk about Kail and Lowry skipping out on the most recent episode of her Coffee Convos podcast. Okay. Star, I do have that same fear that like all of these people, the professional clout chasers taking over the show and whatnot, it might make it corny. There was just something so niche about it and cool about it, right? Before. And so now taking it to this level, again, I like that it's been being brought to Netflix. However, I'm not loving the celebrity angle, to be honest with you. I hope it's not exclusively celebrities. It would be interesting to see them mix with regular people as well, right? Ramal says, no, stop. They should have kept it normal. People having reality stars makes it fake because we know, they're not really real. Exactly. I think so too. I fear that they're going to kill it in general for Arlette. By doing it, by bringing it to this level. So I don't know. I'm rather disappointed, you guys, but I will be tuning in nonetheless. I hope that we're wrong. I hope that these people bring it and that it's exciting and interesting. I don't know. We've got more Australians in the building. Wow. Kathy is watching from Brisbane, I'm assuming, right? At 1:15 a.m. Good morning. Alice, 4:15 a.m. What's HV? Oh, merde. What's HV? What's HV? Can you let me know? I want to know what HV is. Wow. Good morning to you guys over in Australia. Shout out to B, one of my Australian OGs as well. We go back and forth in emails sometimes. She's so sweet. Good morning, Ramstar. Amanda Seals with beef with a vacuum cleaner if she could. And that is true tea, unfortunately. She's so antagonistic. And I think that a lot of times her messaging is correct. It's just the way she goes about it, right? By the way, Alice, no, we're about to get into the Kail story after this, so you haven't missed it. Don't worry. Star says, I think it's better for Arlette and BM to be producers. It helps differentiate the brands. This is an interesting point because perhaps by not appearing on Netflix, she gets to be the exclusive. Like maybe they worked out a deal where she gets to continue with the online. So if people don't like the reality angle, the Netflix angle, people can continue to go ahead and support her online. That would be amazing. Shem, I'm so happy you're here. I have to tell you, I was just thinking about you. I was like, you know what? Shem, I've been missing you in the chat. You're always here. And I love that. And you say hello. But I feel like I've been missing you in the chat. I want to hear some of your opinions on some of these things. Are you busy now? Are you? Because I was wondering, I was like, where's my Shem? Where is she? Because I see her hellos and stuff, but I've been missing out on some of your commentary. I hope all is well on your end, Jem. Jen says, I love Pop the Balloon, but not how it's all former reality TV stars. I've seen too many watching games like Trader. Exactly. We love our reality TV stars and whatnot, of course, but I don't know. I want to see new people. We need fresh meat as well. Good morning, Brett. Good morning to all of you guys joining me here for the morning report. Thank y'all so much for being here. If you're enjoying it, please don't hesitate to go ahead and give it a thumbs up so that YouTube knows you enjoy it and you want to see it continue to pop up in your newsfeed so you don't miss out on our episodes. We go live every single weekday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to talk about the day's hottest stories. And speaking of hot stories, why don't we talk about Kail Lowry and her fourth baby daddy, Elijah Scott. This story was huge last week. We were all minding our own business when all of a sudden a girl from TikTok named Britt came on, started sharing photos and videos alleging that she had some sort of like a hookup relationship with Kail Lowry's baby daddy, Elijah Scott. She showed all sorts. They were on a cruise together, a cruise that Kail paid for him to go to with his brother. And Elijah spent that cruise following her and her friend around, partying with her and her friend. She even had a picture of her, it was a screenshot from a video of her holding onto his watch and stuff. And like, she was like, it looked like she was holding his whole hand. I was like, girl, Elijah, you were an alleged husband. You are a father of 3 plus 4 bonus children. What are you doing running around behind these 2 single ladies on a cruise, having all of these photos and videos taken of you and allowing this girl to be holding onto your hand like this, but it was like this, so it looks more romantic, like this? It just was a terrible look, right? People were tagging Kail like no tomorrow, begging her to come out and speak about this. She hasn't come out to speak about it yet. And she also was noticeably absent on today's episode or this week's episode of the Coffee Convos podcast. Uh-oh. Why do you guys think that she's not here? Do you think that it's because she is hurt by the rumors going out? This is shocking. This is hurtful because, again, as someone who listens to Kail's podcasts every single week, I gotta say that she really thought that this guy was a dependable guy, that this was a guy that would never ever cheat. Like she thought that this was the safe bet for her, right? And like, we've always been talking about this in our recaps as well, that in my opinion, I don't think that there's like a strong, crazy attraction from her towards him. I feel like she likes the stability that he provides. I think she loves that he, takes on the majority of the childcare when it comes to the little kids that they share. I think she likes that he does the majority of the housework. Remember, I was telling y'all in one of her podcast episodes, I think it was Coffee Convo, she was talking about how her dishwasher in her house broke down a year ago. And so Elijah's been washing everybody's dishes for the past year, in addition to doing all the childcare for the little children. Like, I think she likes that, So to find out that this guy that you think is so dependable and you're kind of, in my opinion, forcing yourself to like and pretend to be, all that attracted to find out that he's cheating on you. Ooh, whiplash. And she talked about how, like, in the past, she would be inspecting her boyfriend's phones and whatnot. But this time around, she's not doing it because she's finally with somebody that she fully trusts and doesn't have any kind of worries about. So to find out that guy that you truly trust, you don't have a single worry about, you might need to be worrying about. And from what I've heard some rumblings that there's another girl. There's another girl who claimed that she's been hooking it, but she didn't provide any receipts yet. So I don't know how legitimate her claims are, but there's another girl as well, allegedly, right? Acacia says, I think Kail is in damage control and trying to figure out what to do because it's true. Low-key, I think so too. Low-key, I think so too. I wouldn't be surprised, y'all, But again, I don't think she's going to leave him. She's got it made with him. Good morning, Bunny. I think she's got it made with him. Why would she leave it? She's got 7 children and she's only like, how old is she? She's like 34 years old, 4 different men. I think she knows if she leaves this man, good luck. And y'all know that Kail loves herself a relationship. She rarely stays single for long. So the idea of having to stay single is too painful for her. So I think she'd rather stay with her cheater, have the help, because in addition to the 7 children, 3 of whom are like babies, she's also got like 5 cats. She's got goats. I think she's got pigs. I think she's got chickens. She's got so much. She needs help, and I'm not talking about psychological help this time. She needs like help, like around the house. Bree says, I believe her. The photos were legit to me. Lots of people keep saying she's lying. I believe her too, 100%. I'm sad though. Why would he come into the life of a woman with all these young kids, make more kids with her, and then just do this, and harm all of these children? Like, that's crazy to me. If you're unhappy, leave. There's no reason to be cheating. Ramel says she's avoiding the topic because she's hurt, but she doesn't want to accept the fact that she had another former relationship, right? Maybe. And don't forget, she was cheating on that guy that she was with, Malik. Wasn't she cheating on Malik with Elijah? I can't keep up with her timeline because they are always overlapping, right? Hey, BR. BR says, I feel like she's going to try and dodge a rumor until it dies down. Yeah, I think so too. To be honest, it's low-key in her best interest to just let everybody forget about it. People forget quickly. Like the news was huge, huge, huge when it happened for 1, 2, 3 days. Died down. And now just like her absence from the podcast and stuff is what's getting us to talk about it again. But for a while, it did die down, did it not? Right? Malen says she's not hurt. She's more in love now that he has cheated. Listen, she does love a toxic love story, so maybe that's the case. Don't forget, you guys, at the end of today's episode of the Morning Report, we're going to be opening up the phone lines so that you guys could chime in with your thoughts on the stories that we covered today, of course, including this one. Okay, I really want to hear what y'all have to say. So stay tuned for that. Kristen says, I don't think he cheated with that girl, but I also wouldn't be surprised. Ooh, what makes you think that he didn't cheat? You think that he was just gallivanting around with her, but like nothing further than that? Fair enough. Glenn says he's a bad boy. Adriana says she's Hulk smashing him. Oh, Lord, I hope not. I hope not. That would be so, so, so sad, you know, especially with children involved. That would lead to another Amber Portwood situation, because remember, that's how her legal drama with Leah started out, because she was Hulk smashing him, Gary, in front of her daughter, right? Stephanie says they might have an agreement for when they go on trips. Maybe a hall pass. I don't know. Maybe. Because you know what, to be honest with you, I don't think she's attracted to him. She talks about Chris like that is still the love of her life, right? Meanwhile, she's supposed to be engaged with this guy. She's got 3 kids with this guy. Bree said she's so embarrassing. Her whole life is about manipulation. I'm rewatching Teen Mom 2. She was bouncing around any guy who took care of her and Isaac. And it's so sad that like all these years later, it's still the same story with her, right? Angie says, Kail, show your face like you do, and it's not your business or place. Oh, Angie. Angie says, come outside. We're not going to jump you. We just want to say something. Hey, Gwen, nice to see you. Thanks for joining us. Akeisha says, deadbeat Chris look better than Elijah right now. I'm just saying, listen, what she got with Chris, she knew she was a part of a harem. She knew she was a part of a harem. Poor children indeed. Well, Bree will take it. That's what I thought too. I said, I know Bree is over there, Birdman, rubbing her hands together, hoping to get a piece of that man now, right? Jessa says, they said you lose them the same way you found them, and he was with someone else when Kail got with him. Ooh, see, listen. And I think she was with Malik when she got with this guy, wasn't she? And she's been cheating in all her damn relationships. So although it is a sad situation for the kids, especially, I don't know that I necessarily feel sad for Kail in particular, just based off her own track record. Ooh, Star shaking the table. She says all men cheat. I don't feel bad for Kail. All men cheat. Kail is a cheater who has had a plethora of dating experience. This shouldn't be a big deal for her, but something to deal with. You know, the sad part is that there are, you know, her existing kids are yet again being uprooted from another like makeshift family situation, and now new kids are starting the cycle too. So young, you know. Hey, Evan. I don't know. In one episode, she felt like she had to give him kids. Oh, really? She felt that like the first time she boned him, because she got pregnant. She said she got pregnant the first time she boned him. So you mean to tell me this guy was living next to you? Y'all decide to hook up for the first time. And already in that first time, you're like, oh, I feel like I got to give you some kids. Oh, I'm sorry. You need to get your head examined. There's not you, Evan, but Kail. She needs to get her head examined, because that is scary. That is scary. You know, oh my God. I wouldn't doubt that she said that though. She does like to lie a lot, and it's hard to keep up with all of her lies, right? Carly says, good morning. Good morning, Carly. Nice to see you. Birds of a feather indeed. Oh Lord, y'all. I'm definitely going to keep an eye out on all of this information. You know, I don't expect her to make a statement, okay? I think it would be smart for her to kind of just let all of this ride out. However, if she does, I will be here to talk about it with you guys. So although she didn't appear in today's episode of the Coffee Convos podcast, she was there for the Barely Famous podcast. So she had shot, let me find a picture. I don't have a Barely Famous one, my bad. So she had filmed this interview like a while ago. So, and I think this was before the scandal broke. And so in this week's episode of the Barely Famous podcast, she was interviewing Amanda Knox. Do y'all remember Amanda Knox? So she was an American student who had done an exchange at a university in Italy, who went away to study abroad. And she was accused of red remming her roommate. And it was this huge thing, a huge scandal. She was convicted, then she was acquitted, all sorts of things. If I'm remembering correctly. I wasn't really, I gotta be honest with you guys, like I think I was kind of young when the Amanda Knox situation came out. So like I only vaguely am familiar with her situation. And so now Amanda has written a book about how she, about how her life has been ever since being convicted and then being acquitted later on and whatnot. And so Kail was talking to her about it. And I don't know, and y'all remember, my channel members, you remember this. Because I did this video just yesterday, how Kail appeared on Caitlin and Tyler's podcast. And in Caitlin and Tyler's podcast, she kind of just took over the whole conversation and turned it into how, like, woe is me. Everybody hates me because of the way that I was on Teen Mom 2. I make everybody sign NDAs. It's totally normal. Why don't you make your friends sign NDAs? People say I can't keep a friend, but some of our other co-stars can't keep friends. It was just this whole weird thing, right? So in her Amanda Knox interview, like, you've got one of the most prolific, um, criminal people or criminal cases, someone from one of the most, memorable criminal cases in front of you. And you want to whine to this girl. Oh my God, people don't like me. People see me as a villain, all this. I'm like, and I know that Kail has been in therapy for 7 or 8 years now. Okay. But at this point, I think maybe something else needs to be done to address, like, the hyper fixation that she has with the general public's opinion of her. Because yes, although there are a lot of people who dislike her, there are a lot of people who love her. She's got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 million followers collectively, right? She's making a living off of her podcast, which means that there's a certain listenership of people who like her and want to hear her opinions of things. So why is it that you're so bogged down and just, deeply obsessed with the people who dislike you? It's a normal part of life, having people who like and dislike you. I think that she did a great job interviewing Amanda. However, just the way that she just is constantly trying to steer every conversation she has with every guest, no matter the podcast, whether she's a guest on a podcast, whether she's hosting the podcast, but she's always so desperate to turn the conversation to how it's so sad that everybody hates me. It's so this, I should be much more successful than I am now. I should be much for Kail. You're buying new mansions every year. You're building a farm. You're building these houses from scratch. You've got so much amazing stuff going on right now. So why is it that you are just so obsessed with the people who dislike you? Why is that louder to you than the people who do like you? I find that to be very, 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 like, sad. I wish she would take a moment to enjoy and be happy about the people who love her, right? But I digress. Okay, so Elsie is in the same kind of boat, a little bit young for when all of the Amanda Knox stuff was coming out. I do have to say that Amanda seems to be very much at peace with whatever has transpired in her life. And it was rather surprising to me because she recently was convicted of something new, and then they said, okay, well, the time you served in jail already, like, it's going to count towards that. Cal says the Amanda Knox story is full of mystery. One thing she said that I found rather interesting was that, like, the guy apparently was a guy who had done it. I don't know who the guy was in these people's lives, but he recently also faced SA charges as well. And so she was saying, like, how crazy is it that the press kept focusing on me and what I may or may not have done, whereas this guy, he's shown a repeated pattern of behavior, because here he is in jail again for harming, young women and girls, right? Crazy. Theo says, I saw the Amanda Knox. Oh, it's on live? Okay, I'm going to have to go check that out. I have Lifetime over on Philo, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what that's all about. Because, yeah, like, I only remember the name Foxy Noxy being thrown around constantly, and, like, not much else other than that. Abby says she may need a different kind of therapy other than talk therapy, maybe somatic or yeah, maybe something. Because, it's a rumination issue, and it's not good. It's not healthy. Because to me, it seems like she's got a lot of great things going for her, in terms of, like, reach and stuff. So, like, enjoy that, appreciate that, and focus on growing that. Bree says those people who like her have issues. Damn, who thinks this is healthy and normal? I really can't understand. Maybe it's a good thing. Unfortunately, there are many people who grow up in similar dysfunctional homes, children of alcoholics or whatever, or maybe who find themselves in similar situations where they have multiple children by multiple men. And so they're like, okay, well, at least someone else is in this too. Let me see how she's living and just, kind of go from there. I don't know. It is very interesting though. But I think for me, like, it's the personality. Her personality is very, very harsh and just very heavy and negative, which, I do find very, like, sad, disappointing. Acacia says Kail might have a rejection syndrome from her childhood. It's a real thing. Maybe, right? Michelle says maybe it's daddy issues. I don't know, but it's so sad. It's so sad. I'm like, girl, look around. Like, what I think? Like a gratitude journal or something like that would do her well. Abby says it's hard to feel like enough when the people who are supposed to love you abandon you. Maybe that's it. True. Maybe that's it too. I don't know, but it's sad. And she says, I don't even trust that Dr. Drew. Oh, Dr. Drew truly is something. I'm looking forward to seeing how he handles all this stuff, especially the Amber stuff at the reunion this for this season of Teen Mom Next Chapter. Oh, Lord, guys. Anyway, I think that's it for the Kail stuff for now. Oh, I want to hear what y'all have to say about Amanda Knox. Give me 1 second. Cammy says Amanda's soccer teammates from high school called her Foxy Noxy. Ah, that's where it came from. Oh, okay, thank you. Okay, so I had no idea. There you go. Can't understand why she keeps having children. Bizarre. Yeah, now that she's taken her tubes out, at least that chapter's over for now. Maybe she'll find another way. She has still been talking about how she's looking into potentially adopting or maybe some kind of IVF in the future if that's what I'm like, you know what, girl? Heal. Anyway, let's get into Machine Gun Kelly and Megan Fox. Machine Gun Kelly announced on Instagram yesterday that his ex-girlfriend, Megan Fox, gave birth to their daughter. He posted a picture of himself with their baby's hands, and he's with a caption that reads in a quote, "She's finally here, our little celestial seed." This is such a Machine Gun Kelly caption. Our celestial seed. Okay, Machine Gun Kelly. Congratulations on the birth of your daughter. Unfortunately, he and Megan Fox broke up a couple of months into her pregnancy. And so it's been a really rough road for the two of them, especially Megan, of course, because she's the one that's pregnant. Right now, they are on okay terms. However, they're not yet back together. But sources are telling In Touch magazine that, quote, "No one would be surprised if they gave their relationship another try down the line, but right now they're focused on what's best for their daughter." I don't know what the deal is with Megan Fox's ex-husband, Brian Austin Green, but Machine Gun Kelly went to his DMs and he's like, "Stop asking about when our child is going to be born. What are you, the feds or something like that?" Brian Austin Green is very odd. Very, very odd. Okay, so he seems to constantly be calling TMZ on himself in random parking lots so he could talk about what's going on in Megan Fox's life and with Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly's child, right? So I could see why Machine Gun Kelly would be frustrated and telling him to stay out. I wouldn't want somebody like that to have that sort of information about me and my child, right? Very, very odd stuff, but I digress. Y'all, let me see what y'all have to say. Bramster says he is the king of all creeps. Is he? I think he's odd, but I didn't know he was a creep. I don't know. Abby says, I hope they don't. He's a weirdo. He's just so odd. I think he's very pretentious, Ali says, didn't he cheat? Yeah, apparently that's what went down. Apparently he was cheating, which is so sad. You got Megan Fox, Machine Gun Kelly, you batted so far out of your coverage and you cheated on her. What? That's crazy. Kel says they look good together. Hopefully they'll reconcile. I gotta be honest, the things that she said about that relationship, it made it sound like a very toxic relationship, including the engagement ring. Do you all remember when they were talking about the engagement ring that he designed for her and how it's supposed to be painful and draw blood anytime you take it off? I said, no, that's not. Oh, that's not. That's weird. That's so weird, He seems odd. And then she was going on and on about how the relationship was kind of traumatic in a way, but she romanticized it. Odd. Ronnie says, I hope she stays far away from him. Me too. I'm sorry. Me too. Sammy says, I always thought Brian Green was off, right? He's weird and he's creepy. And, I was thinking about him when I was doing the story in yesterday's morning report about Sydney Sweeney breaking up with that old man. I was like, these young girls need to stop with these random weird old men with who nobody knows. They go after these young stars Brian Austin Green went for Megan Fox, who was too young for him. Then you have kids with them and all this stuff. And they just become obsessive with you and they're your stalkers or whatnot. It's weird. Ali says MGK is not a wise man. He comes for Eminem. Ooh, T. He's weird. MGK is weird. And I'm disappointed because I don't know his music like that. But before, I liked his persona. But then when he got with Megan Fox, to me, all the cracks started showing. And I was like, oh, This is a weirdo. He says, I quote that. Oh, that's not, isn't it so fun? Honestly, like, thank you to Kelly Osbourne and the ladies of The View for bringing us that iconic line. Wow. Ramel says, to be honest, I never paid attention to them or cared about their relationship, but God bless. You know what? That's a perfect way to say it. God bless them on the baby. I hope the baby's okay, happy and healthy. Theo, what's this you're saying about Farrah Abraham doing in the comments? I don't see no Farrah Abraham. Is it because we summoned her from talking about Pop the Balloon? Ooh. Speaking of Pop the Balloon, Ramel had said they should put Portia Williams on Pop the Balloon show. Hopefully it's a man for her who isn't married. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if she appeared on that. You know, that's another one who's always going to have these fake romance storylines and whatnot. Deja says, I honestly think with the Kail situation that she did like Elijah, but it was too nice and too much of a pushover like Coffee. Yeah, maybe that's it. And like somebody else said, maybe now that Elijah's allegedly cheating on her, maybe that's gonna like make her, you know, be a little bit more interested in him. I don't know. YouTube Addict said MGK and Megan look good together, but obviously not meant to be with each other because he's cheating on her while pregnant. Exactly. That is so ugly. It's such an ugly way to behave with a woman who's pregnant with your child and you're engaged to her too. Jeez. Gio says, oh, she's at the top. Okay, let me see. I was like, oh my God, what is she doing here in like my YouTube chat? That'd be so, I was like, oh God. Julie said, yes, Lala Cat would be interesting too. That's another one but that's the thing. All these people we're naming, they'd be great because they're like, you know, these single reality stars, but I don't think they're genuinely looking for love, you know. Let me put up that announcement because Theo had just pointed out that Farrah Abraham was here in the comment section. Congratulations to you both. 3 bottle emojis. You're right. That is funny. I didn't know that she had anything to do with Machine Gun Kelly. All right, Farrah, whatever you can do. Whatever you can do. I think, you know what? She's slowly trying to become like more and more like normal. So good for her on that. Courage. Do you guys remember the legendary singer Selena? Selena Quintanilla, who was killed by a member of her team, someone who went from being a fan of hers to being able to work with her, who was accused of embezzling some of her money. Well, that woman, Yolanda Saldivar, had tried to be let go from her sentence on parole just yesterday, and that parole was actually denied. And so thank God for that indeed, because what she did was absolutely heinous, and she does not deserve to be free. So Yolanda had worked for Selena until March 9th of 1995, when Selena's father fired her after accusing her of embezzling money from Selena's clothing company. And Selena was only 23 years old when Yolanda took her life. The next time that Yolanda will be eligible for parole will be in March of 2030. I wonder if she's just going to keep trying this every single time until the end of her days, which is rather pathetic on her end. Selena's family is happy with her being denied parole, saying, and I quote, "While nothing can bring Selena back, this decision reaffirms that justice continues to stand for the beautiful life that was taken from us, from millions of fans around the world far too soon. Rest in peace to Selena, and may Yolanda continue to stay behind bars until the end of her days." You know, how sad, you know, she was such a big fan of Selena's, right? So how do you go from that to stealing from this woman and then ending her life when you get caught stealing? Like, insane. And then to play the victim and ask for parole when you know that you deserve every single minute of that sentence is just crazy. And mind you, if this woman were ever to even be let out, released on parole, I think there would be some street justice for her. So I think she might actually even be safer behind bars, because people have not forgotten what she did to Selena. What a mess. People are so delusional sometimes, you guys. It's so crazy to me, you know, and I try to stay away from this true crime stuff, but sometimes you see this stuff about like people who have ended other people's lives, right? And then when they're like read their verdicts, like life in prison or death sentence or whatever, they're crying like they're the freaking victims. And you're like, are you crazy? Like, you know what you did and you know that you deserve this. What the heck? What the F? Right? So weird. So weird. Cal says, Yolanda, they did you a favor. Rest in peace, Selena. Indeed. Theo says Selena has great music. She does. She really does. She was ahead of my time, but I started listening to her music because I had been hearing so much about her, and she was just so talented, so beautiful, so young. Michelle says Yolanda needs to be happy about it. She's safer there, right? Betty LaBelle says, does she really want to be free on the streets? Okay, so look, it looks like we all have the same thing to say. That woman is not safe out here in these streets. She needs to just be happy with the fact that she's over there in prison. And you know what? She's lucky that they haven't shanked her in prison either. YouTube Addict says Yolanda needs to stay right where she's at. We millennials don't play about Selena. Tia. Jen says, as a Houstonian, Yolanda is safer in jail than out here. Exactly. Yolanda, I don't think you're ever going to be let out on parole. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry, I should say. Keisha says, glad they denied. She never would have made it in these Texas streets. Listen, Texas, the Latin community does not play about Selena. They don't. And I'm glad that they got it right, keeping her behind bars. Cynthia says, Yolanda can be released when we the people forget about what she did, which is never. Sorry, but you can stay there and play the victim your whole life. Exactly. So there you go, you guys. Maybe now is the time to play some Selena music in honor of her life, her family, now that this wonderful news has been passed down. I believe that her family makes the money from her music, and I think that they do continue to need some of that support. And of course, we want to keep her memory alive, her music alive as well. So I think that after this, I'm going to be playing some Selena. Oh, Lord, you guys. It's Friday. You know what I have Friday? Nothing. I took a nap because I went to the gym again this morning and I was so tired. I almost canceled the morning report. I was so tired. But you know what I'm going to do tomorrow? Salsa. I've got my salsa class. And so I'm just so excited to have like my Latin music. So I've got my salsa on Saturdays, bachata on Sundays. So let's go, you guys. I am so freaking excited. Once again, rest in peace to Selena Quintanilla and continue to rot in jail to you, Yolanda, you no good, dirty scoundrel, thief, killer. Anyway, we got a story about King Charles. Oh, you know what? Did I tell you we're going to talk about David and Janelle after this? We've got the King Charles story. Then we're going to talk about David Eason looking for child support and child custody from Janelle in regards to their daughter, Ensley. Then we got to talk about Bethany Frankel being dragged by the Real Housewives of New Jersey and Erica being on the hook, allegedly, for $24 million as well. So give me a second. I'm going to warm up my tea. I let it go cold. I want to heat it up, drink it. So there's a word from some of our sponsors. Make sure to like this video if you're enjoying this episode of The Morning Report. And I'll catch y'all on the flip side for the rest of our stories, okay?
The Morning Report is brought to you by Philo. Watch your favorite shows and movies from over 70 different channels, including MTV, TLC, WeTV, and more for only $28 a month. Get a free trial today by clicking the link in the description box of this video to get your free trial up and running. Are you looking for the perfect skincare products for women over 30? Look no further than Rothia. Rothia is a skincare brand born from love and made for parents. Their flagship product, the Resilience Cream, delivers clinically proven age prevention benefits such as average 14% wrinkle reduction after 4 weeks of use. Click the link below and receive 30% off your first purchase today.
All right. I accidentally unplugged my microphone, so give me one quick second. Right now, you're hearing me on my basic computer audio, but I want y'all to hear me on my Yeti microphone, my professional microphone. Okay, so there we go. Now it should be up and running. The King Charles story. I feel bad for him that he's not doing. Oh, who's in the music? Who is this? We got Kempire in the house. Where's my buddy Kempire? Let me pull up his message. Kempire is gifting 10 memberships. Thank you, Kempire. That is so nice of you. Hey, KP. So happy you're doing well. Y'all don't hesitate to go ahead and claim your memberships courtesy of Kempire. Thank you, Kempire. You guys, I feel so sad about King Charles and his health battle right now, right? As y'all are aware, he was diagnosed with cancer and he made that announcement last year. And so now we're finding out, it seemed like he was doing well for the time being, but unfortunately now we're finding out that he has actually just returned to hospital over some complications and some issues with his health. And in fact, the Royal Palace just released a statement about it. So to get into it, this is what they say. A statement from Buckingham Palace, and mind you, it was embargoed until late last night. Following scheduled and ongoing medical treatment for cancer this morning, the king experienced temporary side effects that required a short period of observation in hospital. His Majesty's afternoon engagements were therefore postponed. His Majesty has now returned to Clarence House, and as a precautionary measure, acting on medical advice, tomorrow's diary program will also be rescheduled. His Majesty would like to send his apologies to all those who may be inconvenienced or disappointed as a result. It's not looking too good for him, you guys. It's not. I hope he pulls through, of course. You never want to see anybody pass away, especially of cancer. But it's very worrisome, with his age and with how aggressive this cancer seems to be. So good luck to him. Wishing him safety, wishing him health. But I don't know. I'm very, very concerned about this. And for them to be publicizing it is a big deal. I think that they have already known for a while that it's not looking great for him. But now that this is like a publicized thing, it's looking very much like, it's not good. I feel, can I be honest with you guys? I really hope that England, are any of you guys here like English? I'm not English, you guys. However, I am, once again, thank you, Campfire, for gifting memberships. Campfire has gifted y'all some memberships. So if you all want to go ahead and claim them, do not hesitate to. Let me put it up here to keep you guys reminded. I'm not British, but I am a part of the Commonwealth as a Canadian, and I just got to say, the British people, the amount of money that y'all have been spending in these past few years, money that y'all do not have because you were in the same global recession that we're all in, on things for this royal family. I'm wondering when y'all are going to reevaluate these people and the need for these people as whatever it is that they do, right? The amount of money that was spent on Queen Elizabeth's Jubilee, then Queen Elizabeth's funeral, then King Charles's coronation, and all this stuff within back to back, within like a couple of years here. It's a lot of money. It is, and then thinking about starting all this over soon for Prince William too. And for what exactly? Anyway, best of luck, King Charles. Wishing you a speedy recovery. This is sad. It's sad to hear, no matter how you feel about the royal family, this is sad to hear. Now, you guys, thank you, by the way, Ramal. Thank you. I don't know why I didn't do this sooner. I'm having so much fun. It feels, you know what? It's easier than I thought it would be, to be honest with you, because I used to be like, it's going to be so much work. But honestly, I just get up, I brush my hair, and that's it, and then at night I wash it and do all the other stuff. But that's it, Now, you guys, why don't we get into the David Eason story, shall we? David Eason is currently seeking custody of the daughter that he shares with Janelle Evans. Her name is Ensley, in case he forgot, seeing as he has had no contact with her for the past year or so. He's not only just seeking custody of Ensley, he's actually seeking child support from Janelle Evans as well. Shout out to the Ashley's Reality Roundup for breaking this story. Somehow, some way, this guy actually found a lawyer to work on contingency for him. I still do not understand why or how, but okay. I don't think that lawyer is going to be seeing the money ever. I think that lawyer is going to be suing him and still not seeing the money, because you're suing a person that doesn't even work, a person that doesn't have any assets. You're betting big on this guy, and we all know he's not good. He's not good for it. But okay, if this is how you want to spend your time, lawyer, go ahead. Anyway, according to the Ashley's Reality Roundup, David has admitted that he hasn't had any sort of contact with his daughter Ensley in over a year. The last time that he had any contact with her was in February of 2024. He's saying that it's not his fault, though. According to David, it's Janelle's fault, because she got a domestic violence protection order against him, and she filed one on behalf of her daughter as well. David is claiming that despite this order, he should have custody of their daughter, Ensley, because he is the one that took care of their daughter when they were living together. He said that he was doing the day-to-day parenting, all that stuff. Listen, we all know Janelle's lazy. We all know Janelle is glued to her phone at all times. And it did appear as though when she was with David, as terrible as he was, they did start doing a lot more activities and going out. It still wasn't as much as you would hope for children, right? But they did start doing more, especially when he got that boat and whatnot. So he says that he was doing the cooking, he was doing the cleaning, everything for Ensley, in addition to Janelle's other children, Kaiser and Jace. The direct quote that was in the lawsuit reads, and I quote, "David has been the primary caregiver of the minor child, Ensley, and the other minor children living in the marital home, and was the one responsible for caring for the children, getting the children ready for school, feeding the children, completing homework, etc. David has been the one responsible for the minor child's daily needs. David Eason was the one responsible for ensuring the minor child, Ensley, was dressed, fed, and ready for school, and almost always transported the minor child, Ensley, to school and her extracurricular activities." Listen, in Janelle's breakup with August, he is saying the same thing. And he has shown proof of some of these text messages about how, despite the fact they were only dating for a couple of months, thank you, Angela, nice to have you here. Despite the fact that they were dating for a couple of months, he said that like Janelle was deferring parent-teacher interviews, texts and calls from the school to him as if he were these children's father. So if she was doing that with August after a couple of months, is it really surprising, the idea that she would have been doing that with David, who she was with for like 6-7 years or something like that? Not really. Not really. Not really. Hey, Kate, thanks for joining us. Hey, Rosanne. Nice to see you. Good morning. Thank y'all so much for joining us for the morning report. Summer Breeze, when it comes to King Charles, she's like, how do you feel? Sorry. You know what? I know their family is a mess, but still just, it sucks to hear about anybody getting sick. Rosanne says, good luck to him. He's blessed to have seen 76. Exactly. It's not looking great, but you know what? He's lived a wonderful, long life. And you know what? Thank you for bringing this up, keeping up with KP. Even though David is blaming his lack of contact with his daughter in over a year on Janelle Evans, it is looking more like the reason that he's not seen his daughter is actually because he has not submitted to a psychological evaluation that he was ordered to undergo last year in order to have supervised visitation with Ensley. So how do you explain to the judge that you want custody of this child that you haven't had any kind of contact with in over a year, the child that you could have had contact with if you had just submitted to a psychological evaluation? What is going to be his excuse when they ask him why he hasn't done the psych eval in order to see his daughter? Sammy says David shouldn't have full custody of Ensley. Men always do this crap like Jeezy did to Jeannie. They go after the kid to hurt you. I agree with visitations, but not to live with him. Right? You see so many instances of this controlling behavior for sure. Good morning, Mary. Thank you for joining us. Kelly says, I'm thoroughly disgusted, but not surprised in the least by these two. Right? Keeping up says the only statement of David's, I believe. Right? FBI, black SUV, open up. And you got the FBI dog too. Agree. The only way that I think he would not be awarded full custody would be if he was charged with DV from Jace. Listen, unfortunately for these kids, it's not looking good, no matter which parents gets them. Unfortunately, these two people are a mess. So there really is no winning one way or the other. So sorry to the judges and the lawyers stuck dealing with this mess. It must be really sad to see what the two options here. It's bad or worse, right? Very, very, very sad stuff. Truly. I feel so sad. I feel so badly for these children. Cal says David shouldn't be around children or animals. Exactly. And although Janelle is negligent in her own right and in her own ways, I think she's better than David, right? She's not running around killing animals in front of her children, doing all this other weird stuff. She does do weird stuff, but not like that kind of weird stuff, different kind of weird stuff. Good morning, Vivian. Nice to see you. Thank you for being a member. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hey, Courtney. Courtney says, court won't care about the J stuff. Lawyers will say it's irrelevant. Yeah, that's true too. Thank you for bringing us back to focus on that. It is true. At the end of the day, it's about Ensley because he's not fighting for any kind of custody for Jace, despite all the issues that he's got with Jace. Speaking of, where's the update on the strangulation case? I'm going to look that up. I'm going to look that up after I do this this episode. Okay, you guys, because it has been a while and he was supposed to have been back in court like a couple of months ago, but I never really heard an update about that. Steph says, Janelle is living her best life, huh? Must be nice, right? She's living like, and that's the thing about Janelle. All Janelle does is doctor shop for pills or whatever it is that she's looking for right now. And it's sad. It really, really is. Anyway, you guys, do you remember Waka Flocka Flame? I think he had a song called No Hands that went viral way back in the day. And so he just appeared on a podcast. And in this podcast, he was talking about who he would save if he had a child drowning and his wife drowning. And I want to know what y'all think about what he said, because it's definitely a head scratcher for a lot of people, myself included. Check it out, and then we'll talk about it on the flip side. Okay?
Being husband and wife, biblically speaking, is completely different. The way that you show up in your relationship, how you show up for your partner, the things that you go through, and how you grow through the things that life throws at you is completely different than when you're just married. So that being said, scenario, you're on a boat in the middle of the ocean with your wife and your child, and it's still a young child. Both of them get lodged into the water.
My wife.
You're going to save your wife?
Yeah.
Why?
It's my wife.
Period? That's it?
I love my wife before I love my child. How the f*** could I choose my child over something or someone that created you? I come respectfully. I gotta make another one. Cause I cannot make the same woman I love. It's impossible.
It's impossible.
Like you can't play with love. Like real talk. And this ain't for people that's inspiring to be love or living in just bought an apartment with each other. The conversation, nah, it is real. So I know that kid, it wasn't meant for you.
How weird was that? Right? He said, I can make another kid. I can't make another wife. I love my wife before I loved my kid. Your wife could walk away from you at any moment, right? You brought your child into this world. Your child didn't ask for anything. You chose to bring a child into this world, and you're willing to just let your child drown? Mind you, Waka Flocka is divorced because he cheated on his wife. So what you talking about? I love my wife. So I guess side chicks are number one on his totem pole. Then his wife, then his hypothetical children. We need to ban people from podcasts because what? Absolutely insane. Right? FBI says, do not save me because I will hurt you if my child passed. Right? Jessica says you choose your child because they have their whole life ahead of them. Exactly. They have their whole life ahead of them. You're the one who chose to bring them here. You are responsible for them. Kate says, hell no, I would never choose my spouse over my kids. My oldest is my stepson, and I'd still save him over his dad. Oh, now that is a stepmom. Kate. Woo. Star says, I agree with him. Save me. Save me. F them kids. No, I'm kidding. But him and I don't have children. But that's how it should be. So you crack me up. Cynthia says, I don't think Waka has biological kids, so he would pick the wife, or does he think? Yeah. So he, someone had mentioned this a little bit earlier. He doesn't have any of his own children. Like Manel mentioned, he had some. He had a stepchild from when he was married to Tammy. But don't forget, you guys, he cheated on Tammy. He cheated on her. He is so fake. Talking about my wife is number one. Stop it. Side chicks are number one. Cynthia, I don't think. Yeah, exactly. Right. Kel says, Waka Flocka is extraordinarily ignorant. Really try to ignore most of what he says. Yep, I agree. He's a mess. He's a mess, or he's a dope, like April said. You guys, now we're on to our final story of the day, which is Erica Girardi. Oh, no, we're not on the final. We got Erica Girardi heading to trial over $24 million. Then Bethany Frankel being dragged by the cast of The Real Housewives of New Jersey. Then we're going to open up the line so y'all could share your thoughts on any of the stories that we covered today. Okay, you guys? So why don't we get into Erica? Erica, the pretty mess Jane. So she is headed to trial over a $24 million lawsuit filed by her estranged husband, Thomas Girardi's bankruptcy trustee, Elisa Miller. So Erica is accused of being involved in Tom's scheme to steal settlement funds from his former clients. There's a judge named Judge Anne Huang, who's been assigned to the case, and their trial date is expected for June. So just in a couple of weeks here, you guys. Court documents are claiming that Erica used Tom Girardi's personal credit cards to fund her entertainment career from 2007 to 2020. The trustee also alleges that Erica knowingly participated in Tom's criminal enterprise, and her business, EJ Global LLC, was also being sued. But her team is arguing that payments were debts of the company and not to Erica personally. Listen, in just 2 months, we're going to see whether or not she's going to be on the hook for a whopping $24 million. Good luck to you, Erica. Good luck to you. That is a lot of money to be on the hook for. I don't know what I would do if I were on the hook for that much money. Oh, that is some scary, scary, scary stuff. Look, we got some more memberships being gifted out. Allie is hooking you guys up with 5 Grace Report memberships. Thank you, Allie. That is so nice of you guys. Wow. It's like Christmas in March over here between Campfire and Allie hooking y'all up. Thank you, Allie. So nice of you. You guys, we got some exclusive videos. We got some exclusive community member posts. As you guys can see over there, channel members, I did drop a call-in link to you guys first if you guys want to come on and talk about any of the stories we discussed today. So yeah, congratulations to you guys. Some new memberships. And thank you again, Allie and Campfire, for hooking us up. Allie, that is so nice of you. See, Luckbus says, my husband would be saving the kids. I would be screaming at him to save the kids, as he should. What Waka Flocka is saying is absolutely insane, and just how cold and callous he is about the idea of like his hypothetical children like drowning to death. Talking about, I'll make a new one, but I can't make a new wife. Wow, bone chilling. Truly, truly bone chilling. Bunny says, Erica used the victim's money to play rich on RHOBH. I agree. And you know, that smug attitude that she's been having lately, especially towards Garcelle, I think it's going to be wiped off her face very, very soon. Theo says, I'm happy that karma's working swiftly against the flunkies who went after Garcelle. Exactly. Do not mess with Garcelle. She is very, very, very well protected. Ooh! Allie says she might drop some more memberships, you guys, if you continue to like this video. Let's get the likes up for today's morning report, and we're going to get some more channel memberships being gifted, okay? Shout out to you guys. Thank you so much, Allie. Anna says Ensley isn't safe with either of her parents. Exactly. Sorry, but it's true. Isn't Dave going to court for the Jace issue? Exactly. It's such a damn mess, and I feel bad for them. Why these people decided to procreate, I will never know. They should have remained child-free, right? Ooh, Millie, that new channel membership badge looks good on you, girl. April says it's obvious that Erica is guilty. Get her again. Whack her. Get her, Jade. Yay, Allie. So there you guys go. Allie just dropped the new set of channel memberships. Guys, go ahead and claim them. There you go. 5 new channel memberships. So now Allie has donated or gifted a total of 10 channel memberships. Shout out to you, Allie. Thank you again. Jalisa, how do you get the memberships? Good question. Let me go see how this works, because I've never been on the other side of this. Let me go see how this works. I'm not yet sure. I'll have to take a look, but I think you would just have to click on it or something like that. Can somebody help Jaleesa claim a membership? Kahara says, Erica talked about Garcelle's beach house, and now exactly possible. The comments she made about the beach house were so smug and condescending and rude. Garcelle worked her behind off to buy that, and she didn't buy the beautiful beach house. She built that beach house from nothing. You know, like, she was a visionary with that. It was absolutely incredible what she did to get that beach house, right? Meanwhile, Erica, what did you do to get your pool house? What did you do to get into Tom Girardi's house, right? Now you're over here talking about, you know, I married this ugly man, whatever. Very, very weird stuff. Weird, right? Anyway, you guys, we just finished. Listen, what I'm going to do, I'm going to drop a call-in link so y'all can come on in and call and share whatever you want to share, any of your opinions about any of the stories that we discussed today on the morning report. Okay, so what did we talk about? We talked about Pop the Balloon joining Netflix, but the host Arlette being replaced with Yvonne Orji of Insecure. We talked about Kail Lowry not appearing in this week's episode of Coffee Convos. We talked about Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly welcoming their daughter. Oh, this is the final story I forgot about. Here we go. while I wait for you guys to dial in, we've got the Bethany Frankel. Bethany, she's like another weird, miserable hag, right? For no reason, she's been dragging the Real Housewives of New Jersey on TikTok. Mind you, she actually just deleted this video that she made because she got a lot of backlash for it. It was a very disgusting video. So she was complaining about the show. She said that Teresa Giudice's husband, Louis, and Teresa are very financially irresponsible, which is true. Okay, I'll give her that. However, when it came to the show, she said it was a trash bin of a show. The castmates are broke asses trying to get somewhere. And so, of course, these girls did not take too kindly to it, right? Dolores called Bethany Frankel a dumpster fire. She said that Bethany Frankel was insufferable and only memorable because of her SHIT energy. And you know what? Low key, she's right. Okay. And then she says, Bethany is a broken girl. I don't remember her because she's not memorable. I remember her because I'm an empath and I felt her ish energy. Then Jen Fessler, one of the newer cast members of Real Housewives of New Jersey, also chimed in. So she posted this video of herself on Instagram talking about Bethany Frankel. And then Dolores reposted it. And she said, you know what? Yeah, drink girl. That's what they're calling Bethany because of her skinny girl margaritas. She says the drink girl is so insufferable. Always trying so hard. She never shuts up ever. I don't know what it is. She reminds me of like an older version of Kail, right? Like when I was talking about this earlier on in today's episode, I said, listen, Kail, there's so many people who like you. You're making a lot of money from these podcasts and these brand deals and stuff because there are people who like you, right? So why are you so focused on people who dislike you? Why are you so wrapped up in negativity? Bethany's another one like that. You're so successful. You've made so much money from your time on the show. You did an incredible job, so good that they named a clause after you, right? The Bethany clause. Yet you spend all of your time on TikTok just hating on everything and everybody. Like, why? I don't get it. Why? And when she fixates on a person, like she will just go off, like on and on and on. And when she fixates on like, you know, anything, it's just this horrible, like negative, toxic kind of storm. And I do not understand it. Why is she not happy? Right. And I think that it goes with what one of you guys were saying a little bit earlier, which was that, you know, maybe when the people who were supposed to love you the most, right, your parents, don't love you, this is kind of how you end up, maybe if you don't treat and heal the inner child part of you, because Bethany had that kind of an issue, right? Like she felt unloved by both of her parents. And, you know, Kail has that similar kind of issue. Is this what happened? Right? Razan says she gives heg. Yes. I love the word heg. And I want it to be gender neutral. Y'all remember when we were talking about Kenya Moore's ex-husband, Mark, in yesterday's morning report. That guy is another hag. Oh my God, she's a hag. Like it's just miserable, just energy, vampire type people, you know, just whoa. Oh, Jaleesa, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you. Jaleesa says, love your channel, girl, and these morning reports. I never miss an episode. Yes, and I know, and I love your presence here. Thank you so much for always being here for the morning report. Thank you for writing from day one. Star says, my trusted source, Google, says it's based on engagement, but could be wrong. You do have to be in the live to receive it. Oh, so you can't just click a button. It's random. Oh, I had no idea. I thought people were like manually claiming them. Okay, that's interesting. If it's based on engagement, how did Theo not get one? Theo is another OG of the morning report too. Huh. Theo says the Real Housewives in New Jersey has been terrible for years now. Yeah, they're too dependent on like dragging Teresa, and it's too much, right? Ali said Ali's giving another. Oh my God, Ali is making it rain. Shout out to Ali for being the sugar mama of today's episode of the morning report. Congratulations to those of you for getting these new channel memberships. We've got Stephanie here. Stephanie, what's up?
Hi, guys. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. How are you?
Good. How are you? Nice to finally talk to you, Grace.
Amen. Nice to talk to you, too. What have you been thinking about today's stories?
Today's story's been really good. A lot of good topics. As far as the Pop the Balloon episode or show going to Netflix,
yeah,
I feel like bittersweet. Like I'm happy that she's gotten a chance to elevate, but at the same time, I hope that the show doesn't go down. Because it's more authentic on YouTube. There's like more freedom. It's more like real, kind of like what we talked about earlier.
Exactly. And someone had mentioned, or in the comment section, they said maybe the reason why Arlette is not hosting Netflix is because she's gonna continue to host the one online. And if that's the case, I hope that it is, because to be honest, I get the vibe that with the celebrity thing, it's not gonna be as organic or as popular as the online version.
Exactly. I agree 100%. What else did we talk about? Talked about a lot of stuff. Dang, it slipped my mind.
Do you want me to go over them for you? We did that one. We talked about Kail skipping out on the podcast. Megan Fox gave birth. Selena's killer denied parole. King Charles in the hospital. David Eason custody. Waka Flocka and the child thing.
All right, yeah. So okay, when to Kail, and they probably have a agreement or something, and she just probably doesn't want to talk about it. I don't know. With that, I don't know. Her situation is like she has no room to really be judgmental. It kind of like get what you can.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's with her, like, there's no comment because we don't really know, but it's just whatever we want to make up.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then what is it? Nervous.
Can I interrupt you for a second about the Kail? The agreement. Like, is the agreement that he gets to F around, or do you think she's also low key effing around too?
Both. I feel like both. Like, he probably knows that she's not perfect, and kind of like how you say like how she speaks so highly of Chris. Like, that's, as a guy, like, if I'm not a guy, but if a guy hears his woman talking about another man glorifying him, he's getting feelings. So he's probably like, she probably lets him do his thing. I don't know. Like, I don't know.
It's definitely a mess, and I feel badly for her, but at the same time, like, when you make these kinds of messy decisions in your life, you really corner yourself, and it becomes more and more and more difficult, to find a suitable partner as you continue to populate the city single-handedly.
Exactly. I don't know what Kail's looking for. I don't know. Like, I know she has baggage. We all have some kind of baggage, but like, she doesn't really try to navigate it in any kind of way. So I really feel bad for her, or feel any way at the same time. Like, the guys who meet her should run. She definitely them. So they could sue for that.
And the crazy part is she's been in therapy for 7-8 years. I'm like, where is the progress then? I'm so shocked. I really, really am, by some of these decisions that she's been making repeatedly, even like outside of romantic. But like, when we're talking about how she was on Kate and Ty's podcast, then on the Barely Famous podcast with Amanda Knox, how she's constantly trying to steer every single conversation towards the whole woe is me, people don't like me sort of a thing. It's odd.
Yeah, she needs a team of therapists. I don't know if it's the same therapist that she's had, but she needs a new one. Like, there's no progress. Like you said, there's no progress. And it's like, you're just throwing money down the drain. She could send it over here.
Amen. And I really do hope she looks into different forms of therapy. Someone did list a bunch of different types. And you know what? And it's not even to be shady to her, but like, maybe she's reached as far as she can with this therapist and this style of therapy. And it might be time to look at something else. Who knows? Stephanie, thank you so much for calling in. It's so nice to finally hear your voice.
Thank you. And thanks to Ali. Shout out to Ali. And he's just like Zach. He smokes too much. That's why he doesn't have kids. So
exactly. Thank you. And once again, thank you so much to you too, Ali, for hooking us up with all of these channel memberships. It's absolutely amazing what you've done for the community today. Thank you. We've got Rason here as well. Hi, Rason.
Hi, Grace. Can you hear me?
I can, loud and clear. How are you?
I'm so good, and I'm so excited to finally be able to talk to you, because I've been watching you for years, and I know you must get that a lot. I'm so excited to be here.
Thank you. It's so nice to hear that. Thank you so much for your worship. Oh my God, what do you think about today's stories?
So there were some good stories today. I came in a little bit. I think I came in when you were probably talking about King Charles, and I tried to keep it a little bit PC, but someone was saying something about karma, and yeah, I kind of cackled a little bit at that, and because it is what it is. Sad, it's always sad, but like I said, a lot of people don't get to see 76, and so it's a blessing to even get there. And we never wish harm on anyone. We wish everyone the best. But
Amen.
he's lucky to have seen the numbers that he has seen, and that's that. I wanted to say about the whole Waka situation. That was a little bit funny to me because I'll tell you what. I think that a lot of people are outraged, and I understand it, but I'm also a little bit curious because I don't think that his stance is that rare, to be completely honest. Now, me personally, I have 9 nibblings. I'm a proud aunt, but I don't have children, right? But I've heard similar sentiments over the years, and so I think that if more people were being honest, and I think it's more common with men, to be completely honest.
I was just gonna say,
I think it's more common with men, and I think that a lot more people. I think that a lot of people would be more. If a lot of people were more honest, then it wouldn't be such a shocking thing to hear. For me, it's sort of like this new wave of women confessing their, how they truly feel about motherhood. Have you seen those? Women finally having the guts to be honest about this journey of motherhood. I think that we should embrace the spirit of honesty. I think that what he said was honest, and we shouldn't shame him for it because it's such an outlandish thing, right? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, don't be. You know what? You're definitely giving me a different perspective, and it is true because even when the women were first talking about like how motherhood isn't, the way that they thought it would be, the way it was portrayed, or how they're not finding like the love or the excitement that they thought they'd have, it was shocking to a lot of people. Even, I don't know if you or anybody in the chat knows about like the Reddit page Regretful Parents or something like that.
Probably heard about it. Yeah.
So it's something similar where people just spend all day, every day talking about how much they regret having had kids. Like they thought it was going to be this thing that completed them, fulfilled them, and they're miserable. So maybe you're right that people need to be. Yeah.
And here's the thing too. I think even as I heard, I think Shira's 7 is her name. What does she say? That unconditional love is between women and children. Yeah. And so I think, and I absolutely agree. I think that men generally, and there's an exception to every rule, so please don't attack me and say, but my dad loved me this way. Of course. And I think that, our parents love us in a way that's, profound and words can't explain it. But I think that it's absolutely different for mothers. And I think that's why when we read the comments, we see women saying, oh my God, I can't imagine. I can't believe that he would say something like that. But for men, it is different. I mean, look at how these men kind of fake incompetence so they don't have to take care of their,
Ooh, true,
so, I mean, let's be honest. So I wasn't that surprised that he said it, but I don't know. Just a thing that crossed through my head when he said it. I wasn't that surprised.
Yeah. You know what? You have a good perspective. Thank you for bringing it on, because listen, we hear all these stories about these men having these children with these women, then bouncing on the children as soon as they're done with their relationship with a woman, right? So Is it that surprising that here's one of them saying something like this when this is kind of low key,
I think he was honest.
Yeah, he was. Thank you, not Cynthia. Thank you, Rison. Thank you so much for calling in. It's nice to talk to you.
Thanks so much, Grace. See ya.
Yeah, see ya. Now we got Malen coming up here as well. You guys, I'm really enjoying hearing you guys' perspectives, because now after talking to Rison, I'm like, you know what? I get it. You hear a lot of these stories. There's just so many fatherless children in general, right? So it's like, okay.
Hello, Grace.
Hey, Malen, how are you?
I'm fine. What about you?
Good, thank you. Which story did you want to talk about?
I want to talk about the Erica Jane case.
Oh, okay, let's go.
I feel like she's just as guilty as Tom.
Yeah.
Because when a person, KIL.
Yeah.
And the wife knows about it, automatically the wife is complete. How they call it when you are, I don't know how to say it
implicated,
in English.
I think.
What?
Is it implicated? Like the wife is implicated?
Yes. Yes. So I feel like she was, she knows about the scams, and I feel like they should sue her, and she should pay the death. And I feel like now that Tom is, I think he have dementia.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. So I feel
Conveniently.
like
Yeah.
if I was Tom Girardi, I would give the fault to Erica, because I would say I was married to Erica at that time. Erica herself told the girls on Beverly Hills Tom was starting to forget things. That's mean Erica was Tom's handler.
Oh, so she had like a special kind of like behind the scenes knowledge that we haven't tapped into yet?
Yes, I feel like that, because if she was already telling the girls Tom was very forgetting things, was forgetting things and cannot remember where he was driving at. So I feel like Erica is more complicit in the crime than we are giving her.
Yeah.
And I hope they found her guilty.
Honestly, with her smug attitude and the way that she's been lately, I wouldn't be surprised if there was something that, like, a verdict, an unfavorable verdict to bring her back to earth. I'm not rooting for it. If she is innocent, I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did say that she was liable for that $24 million. Scary stuff, honestly.
Yes, and I have one thing more, and I hope Rihanna don't employ her anymore, because she's a Karen, because she sometimes work for Fenty, Fenty.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah.
And I hope Rihanna don't employ her, because the way she's acting towards Garcelle is very microaggression and very Karen-like. Even though Erica likes black men and talk like a black woman, but I feel like she's because her best friend is Megan McCain.
Is it Megan McCain? Oh Lord.
Yes.
Megan McCain. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
That's all I have to talk about.
Thank you so much, Milan. It's always so nice to talk to you.
Yes, and Ali, thanks for the gift.
Yeah, more love for Ali. Thank you, Ali. And thank you again, Milan. And speaking of Ali, you guys, she has dropped 2 more gifts memberships. Thank you so much for the new gifts. And she's here ready to chat with us as well. I do have Star, who's here, who dialed in first. And then afterwards, we're going to go to talk to our sugar mama, Ali, as well. Star, first of all, how is Miami treating you?
Hey, Grace. Hey, co-reporters.
Hey.
I'm out and about, so I'm just going to be super quick, and let me know if you can hear me okay.
Yeah, we hear you loud and clear, and you sound great, by the way. You sound happy.
Thank you. I am. And I just wanted to say I love your channel so much, and I really appreciate these live morning reports, because they just kind of get me out of bed in the morning. But on to the subjects that we talked about today. First, I wanted to say about Waka Flocka. I think where he's coming from is that like pecking order of the family, meaning like who's the head. And when it comes to respect, you respect your wife before your children, and you put your wife before your children. So I think that's where he was coming from. But him and I don't have kids, so I won't speak to it too thoroughly. And then for Kail, I wanted to say that she was on Trisha Paytas' podcast, and I had a similar upbringing to her. So I kind of recognize that she has the problem of attachment and abandonment. And I think that's why she has this issue with like having so many kids, being in so many relationships and all that kind of stuff. So I do like give her a lot of grace just because I can relate.
Oh my God. And I'm so sorry you had a similar upbringing to her. It must not have been easy at all. And it is true that when you are brought up in these sorts of environments, they do have lasting trauma in the way that you navigate life, love, friendships, any kind of interpersonal relationships.
Yes, exactly. So just wanted to put that out there. Happy Friday, everyone. I hope everyone has a great weekend. And thank you, Ali, for the gifted member. Actually, no, thank you, Kempire. I think he gave me my gifted membership. So thank you both.
Awesome. Thank you, Star. Enjoy Miami. Bye, girl. Ali, oh my God. So you know what? By the way, speaking of Star and Kail and all of that, the Kail, the attachment stuff, those of you who just got channel memberships, FYI, we read through Kail's book in the channel membership section, and she did pretty much admit that she had all these children to have a semblance of a family. So definitely go back, read all the chapters with us, and then you'll learn more about like the way she operates. Ali, how are you?
Hello, I'm doing good. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, perfectly. Thank you so much for all the memberships.
Oh, you guys are welcome. I love my co-reporters and you, and I love joining the morning report every morning. So it's
Thank
nice to
you.
see more green in the chat.
Amen. Thank you, Ali. What did you think about today's stories?
Oh my gosh. I am like in awe of David Easton's audacity.
It's sick.
Because like you haven't seen the child in a year and you're trying to get full custody and child support?
Yep.
Sir, you're trying to get the moon and the stars and you're a child abuser and a dog killer.
Period. Period.
Like I can't.
Exactly. And the crazy part is he was blaming Janelle for him not being able to see his child for a year. Meanwhile, he just had to submit to a psych eval and he refused to.
So he couldn't get a lawyer like a year ago? Like I would have gotten a lawyer like as soon as possible and
Mhm.
fought like the evaluation if I really, was of sound mind, but clearly, he's not. And
Nope.
that's what took a year. And I
Exactly.
think it's because of like the shenanigans that Janelle is doing with whatever person she is currently with and him speaking out, being like, I'm basically raising your children.
Yes.
So that could be that.
But
Why David thinks he has an in.
the thing that is most confusing to me is how he managed to find a lawyer to work on contingency for him. Like, how does what? I'm still so
Did he
speechless.
find the lawyer or did his current girlfriend find the lawyer?
Oh, good point. It might be her. She might be the one who would be on
Because
the.
she's the only stable-ish person that I'm seeing in his like sphere.
Yeah, I think that might be it,
And she should run.
unfortunately. Yeah. Oh, I think you're right. I think they put her name down as like a guarantor. So like if he does not pay it off, she would be on because she has a house, she's got cars, she's got all sorts of things.
Yeah, she's the new sugar mama.
And
Like
why?
she's gonna be funding that child. She probably, I don't know, I'm not trying to speak this into existence, but perhaps she doesn't have children or can't have children or what have you. And this is her way of becoming like, a cool
Uh-huh,
mom or a cool stepmom or,
uh-huh. Oh
kind of
my God.
provide the stability that she probably could for a child with
Yeah.
a crooked man.
Honestly, I just put up a picture of her. It's like she's just like your average, like normal girl next door. And the fact that she didn't think she can get better than David Eason is scary,
She should be
honestly.
evaluated as well.
Truly, truly. Jeez, thank you so much, Ali. Thank you. Oh my God. Oh, it was so, so nice finally getting to hear your voice as well. And thank you for always being here for the morning report also. Thank you.
No, of course, I'm happy to be here and happy to listen on. I just want to say have a great afternoon and evening, and I will be in the chat with the
Thank
rest of the
you.
co-reporters. Thank you.
You
Bye,
too.
guys.
Thank you. Bye, guys. And yes, again, thank you so much for all of those channel memberships, Ali. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Lily, do you hear me?
Hi, yes, can you hear me?
Yes, perfectly. How are you?
Hello, good, how are you?
Good, thank you. What story did you want to talk about?
Okay, I just have like a couple things I want to talk about. Okay, so first of all, I've been watching you for a minute. I think you're like so well spoken and fair and professional. So I just like really appreciate that about you.
Thank
And
you. Mhm.
this has nothing to do with the episode. Well, kind of, but like I've always thought you'd be such a good host for the teen mom reunions. Like, would you ever do that?
You know what? Why not? But I don't think they would want me to host it because, like, of my videos, I have, like, I take people to task when they are a mess and they don't like that. They want to be coddled, so they wouldn't enjoy it.
I
But
know.
totally.
Yeah, I mean, I figured that was why, but like, I feel like you would still be nice and like not, you know, be like mean. I don't know. I just feel like you'd be such a good host. And like, Dr. Drew is trash. Vanessa, I'm sorry, but like, she sucks too. She's way too nice. She's like, is that her
Mhm.
name? Vanessa?
Nessa, yes.
Nessa. And
Mhm.
she's always like, oh, your kids are so cute. Like just random comments. And it's like, what? So yeah, I've always
Honestly.
thought like we need to
Mhm.
get Grace as the freaking host of these reunions. Like that would be some good shit. Sorry.
Thank you. That would be so fun. I don't know if you saw, but this was back in the day. I want to say this was 2016, 2017, but they had me do a thing with Dr. Drew on like one of these after shows where you like do like the questions. So I did a question with Tyler. I don't know how to like go back and find it, but that was like back in 2016, 2017-ish. And that was pretty fun. And like Tyler, he thought I didn't like him. And I was like, no, like I talk about situations and whatever. When like, and you know, I thought he was a pretty great guy too. So, you know, to me, it's not about the people liking, it's like the actions, you know? So thank you so much.
All right. Great talking to you. I'll keep watching.
Thank you. Likewise, Lily. Have a great weekend.
You too. Bye.
Thanks. Bye. Oh my God. How fun is it to get to hear you guys' voices? Thank y'all so much for calling in. It's been so great to chat with you guys. And thank y'all in the live chat for keeping up with us over there with all of your live comments as well. And I'm so excited for those of you joining us as part of our playback posse or playback posse, joining us in the comment section later to share what you thought about everything that our callers brought up as well. And Ali is still over here making it rain channel memberships. Thank you, Ali. What is that? 20 memberships already today? Wow, we have been spoiled. What a wonderful, beautiful Friday episode of the Morning Report. Thank y'all so much for making it such a great episode. Thank you once again, Ali. Thank you to Kempire. Thank you to Jaleesa for your super chat. And thank you to all of you for all of your wonderful comments. Thank y'all for calling in. I can't wait to chat with you guys again on Monday. We will be live at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Monday to talk about the day's hottest topics. Okay, you guys, get ready. Have a great weekend, by the way, and I'll see you again next week. Bye, guys. Take care. Happy Friday.